Welcome back to Super Recaps. Today I will show you an action and thriller movie from 2022 called The Princess. The film is set in medieval times, and it begins when a princess wakes up, only to discover that she is dressed in a wedding dress and her hands have been chained together. She can't remember much from last night, and when she tries to leave the room, she finds out that the door has been locked. At that moment, she hears some footsteps and she rushes to the bed and pretends to be asleep. Two mercenaries then enter the room. They plan to sexually assault the princess, but as soon as one of the men comes close to her, she hits him with her head and quickly removes her handcuffs by breaking her thumb. She then begins attacking them with the handcuff. They fight for some time, and eventually, the princess kills both of them by stabbing one's eye with her hairpin and throwing the other mercenary out the window. However, because soon another mercenary enters the room, so the princess grabs a big hammer and kills him with. The scene then shifts to Julius, who is a son of a royal diplomat. He has captured the royal family and taken over the castle because he thinks the king is weak since he promotes peace and is too kind to his people. Julius thinks that only strong people like himself should be king. The scene then shifts back to the princess, who escapes her room but locks it from the outside, so the other mercenaries don't suspect anything. After that, the princess looks out the window and discovers that her family has been captured by Julius and his henchwoman, Moira. The king tries to talk to Julius, but he does not listen to him. Instead, he orders the mercenaries to lock them up. This is when the princess remembers what happened last night and realizes that this is all her fault, because she did not want to marry Julius and she left him on their wedding day. She escaped and hid in the bathroom, and when a guard found her, she easily killed him as she remembered the words of her martial arts teacher, Lin. Her teacher had taught her that a true warrior is defined by their reason for fighting instead of their technique of fighting. Back in the present, the soldiers find the corpse of one of the mercenaries and they alert Julius. So Julius ordered one of the mercenaries, Care, to go check the princess's room, and Care sends one of the other soldiers to her room. In the next scene, when two mercenaries pass by the princess's hiding spot, she comes out and threatens them with a crossbow. She asks them where her family is being held, but they don't take her seriously and refuse to answer, so the princess doesn't hesitate and kills them with her crossbow. She then tries to sneak into her room, and on the way, she comes across many mercenaries stealing valuables from the castle without informing Julius. When she reaches her room, she retrieves a sword that was gifted to her by Lin's uncle, Kay. The princess also changes into combat boots before rushing out to save her precious family. She sneaks through a hidden tunnel in the castle, but stops for a moment when she hears a discussion between Julius and Moira. As she listens to their conversation, she realizes that Julius plans to marry her so that he can become the next king, and he will kill her father right after the ceremony. The princess is enraged when she hears this and tries to kill Julius by stabbing him through the wall, but she is unsuccessful because at the same moment, Julius is summoned by the king and he leaves to talk to him. The king once again tries to persuade Julius not to kill them by saying that he and Julius can work together, but the king's words do not affect Julius. Meanwhile, Care's soldier reaches the princess's room and looks through the keyhole. He sees a blanket covered body on the bed, so he thinks that the princess is sleeping while a soldier guards her, and he goes back to Julius to inform him that the princess is still in the room. On the other hand, the princess is sneaking through the castle when she gets caught by a soldier, but once again, she defeats him easily by setting him on fire and throwing him off the tower. Julius sees the dead body, and he is enraged at Care's incompetence and asks him to deal with whoever is killing his soldier. Once Julius leaves, Care gets into an argument with Moira, and she ends up killing him. After that, she orders the other soldiers to find the culprit and kill them. The movie then goes back to the princess, and we see that she is being attacked by a lot of mercenaries. She escapes by jumping out of the window while holding the curtain. She lands in another room, hides in the changing room, and then recalls a discussion between her parents. The king and queen don't have a son, which means they don't have an heir to the throne. That's why the king wanted the princess to marry Julius. Back in the present, the princess is anxious as someone is walking toward her hiding spot, but she is relieved to find out that it's just Lin. Lin treats the princess's injuries and tells her how Julius took over the castle. He made a surprise attack at night when the castle guards were unprepared for battle. The princess then starts blaming herself for all this, but Lin comforts her and says that she will help the princess save her family from Julius. They head to the kitchen, where they come across some mercenaries trying to assault a maid. The two girls quickly deal with the mercenaries, but soon after, Moira shows up and starts fighting them. She first badly injures Lin and then starts strangling the princess with her whip, but Lin stops her before she can kill the princess. Lin convinces the princess to go through the sewers alone while Lin distracts Moira. So the princess goes through the sewers and eventually reaches the dungeon where her family is being held. She starts fighting all the guards there, and the king is completely astonished to see his daughter's skills. After defeating the guards, the princess quickly frees her family, and just when they are about to leave, someone hits the princess on the head. When she awakens, she realizes Julius has captured her whole family and Lin too. She then tells Julius that she can't wait to be his wife and taunts him by saying that he better be careful after they get married because she will never let him live in peace. She'll make each day a living hell for him, and he'll never know when his death is coming. This makes Julius realize that the princess is dangerous, and he decides to marry her little sister, Violet, instead. And while everyone is distracted, Lin picks up Violet and sneaks away. The princess gets thrown into the sea, and as she's drowning, she starts to remember everything she has been through. This gives her strength. She then cuts the rope with a piece of glass and swims up. Meanwhile, Julius is preparing for his wedding with Violet, and when he realizes that she is missing, he asks all the soldiers to quickly look for her. All the while, the princess has managed to get back into the castle, but a soldier finds her. And just as the soldier is about to attack her, Violet saves her by shoving a statue on the soldier. The princess now starts working with Lin and Violet to defeat Julius. Lin leads them to a secret underground room that stores many weapons. All of them take a weapon and get ready to fight Julius. While Lin and the princess engage the mercenaries in battle, Violet sneaks into the wedding hall to free Kay. But as soon as she frees him, Julius finds Lin and the princess then rush inside, but they are stopped by Moira. The princess starts fighting with Moira while Lin deals with the other soldier. Meanwhile, after some time, the princess eventually kills Moira by hanging her from her whip. But at the same moment, Julius stabs Lin from the back and picks up the crown and declares himself the new king. The princess enters the room and tells her family to escape. She then starts fighting Julius. Their fight goes on for some time, but unfortunately, Julius manages to get the upper hand by stabbing her in the thigh. He then drags the princess outside to show everyone that he has won, while Julius is busy gloating about his victory, and suddenly she takes his sword and cuts off his head in an instant. Once Julius is dead, she takes the crown and presents it to her father. After wearing the crown, the king tells everyone to pay attention and announces that they have found the heir to the throne. He then looks at his daughter and apologizes for not taking her seriously before. After that, he declares her the heir to his throne and tells everyone that from now on, every woman will be allowed to make her own decision. The princess is extremely happy, and she rushes to hug Lin. Everyone claps for them, and this is where the movie ends. Thanks for watching. To support the channel, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button and press the bell icon to get new video updates.